Hey everybody, Savat here, and I am back from the Fulmination test server, and the most requested ship that we had to take a look at for the next one was the Bhaalgorn. So we are going to do that today. I decided to do something a little bit different with this test, because this ship is actually currently available in the game. You can get it, it just costs you an arm and a leg. So what I'm going to do is take a look at a fit that can actually be done today. Now, the skills still are maxed on this, so do take everything with a grain of salt, but this ship here is available to be built with all of the modules and everything currently that is available in the game. Okay, so before we get started, if you do like my content, please go ahead and leave a like on the video, subscribe, and ring that bell if you want to be notified whenever I do release anything in the future. That being said, let's go ahead and jump right into the Bhaalgorn. Alright, so taking a look at this ship here, the Bhaalgorn is a insane ship. This ship here is a Blood Raider ship. It is a battleship. It has a bunch of really cool bonuses. So one of the main bonuses on this ship is it gets a minus 100% energy Nosferatu overload penalty. And what that means is basically it can drain even if the other ship has more energy than you. Normally, if it has more energy remaining than you do, you wouldn't be able to drain. Now, this really isn't a problem in PvE, as all the PvE ships do have infinite cap, so they're always going to have more than you. But in PvP, this would be a thing. However, this is something that we do want to take advantage of. Alright, next, per level of Advanced Electronic Warfare, you get plus 15% Energy Nosferatu efficiency, plus 15% energy neutralizer strength, and plus 20% stasis webifier optimal range. This is all going to come into play with the fit on this ship. Next, under Advanced Battleship, command bonus per level, there's 15% large laser damage, and 7.5% per level large laser tracking speed. We're also going to take advantage of these as well in the ship. So this ship does fit 7 high slots. It has 5 medium slots and 5 low slots, with 3 of each of the rig slots and 2 drones. Drones for me are normally hood ornaments, and this ship it's not. Now, before we go any further with what I've fitted on the ship and how I'm using it, one of the things that I am doing with the ship is a PvE fit. This ship is definitely designed for PvP, but I'll leave the PvP stuff to the people who know what they're talking about. So what I wanted to see is what we can actually have this ship do in PvE, and how we can take advantage of some of these amazing bonuses that the ship has. Alright, and so this big scary ship here, how did we have it fit out? Well, one of the things I wanted to take advantage of is the capacitor. I wanted to see how we can make this capacitor work for us and use this energy to be more effective. So to do so, I decided on a close range fit. In our high slots, we have Corpus C-type large pulse lasers. So we have 7 of those slotted in there, and they have an optimal range of 31.5 km with an accuracy fall off of 6.75. That's going to be a total of 37.8 km, so this is definitely going to be a close range brawler. Now, the close range brawler aspect of the ship, using large weapons means that hitting smaller ships is going to be quite difficult. To make up for that, what I have actually done on here is put on 3 Predator Stasis Webifiers. The 3 Predator Stasis Webifiers are going to have on this ship an optimal range of dang near that 30 km. And so any ship that does get close is going to be within this optimal range, be able to be grabbed, slowed down to basically nothing, and then able to be tracked by these large lasers. Now, the large lasers' tracking speed themselves isn't very good. It's only a 9.95. However, with the 3 webs on it, and basically them being stopped, it should be able to hit those and have no problem. And secondly, in this ship, I have 2 Verkalakis large energy Nosferatus. These are to drain the cap and continuously drain the cap, and I wanted to have something to do with this cap that we're going to be draining. I'm not using the neutralizers on this ship because this is a PvE fit and not a PvP fit. I do have 2 of the Mark 7 Ogres in here. Alright, for our low slots, I am going to be running a Corpus C-type Adaptive Armor Hardener. I have a Corellium C-type Reactive Armor Hardener, and I'll explain that in just a moment. I am running 2 Corpus C-type Large Armor Repairers. And running those two is one of the reasons why. This ship is completely cap stable with everything running. Lastly, it has a core C-type large afterburner. This ship is slow. It's big, it's slow, it's lumbering, it's a behemoth on the battlefield. It's going to be going in and doing a ton of damage and being able to take all the damage thrown at it. You can get this ship up, which I was experimenting around using the higher end stuff, to like 1,800 DPS with a big tank on it and able to do all sorts of crazy things. But I want to put this to the actual real test of doing T10 solo. So I've decided to go with way more of a tank fit. If we're going to be a close range brawler on T10s, we need to have some real tanking capabilities. That leads us to the rigs here. So my rigs, I actually have 3 warp core optimizers. Now, the reason why I have the warp core optimizers in here is because I don't need this to be any more stable than it already is, sitting at cap stable. So these rigs here are going to be for the emergency button. If I need to warp out and they have some scrams and stuff on me, this is going to give me a little bit of wiggle room, so I can clear out some ships and try to get out. Also, with the warp time on this ship being a whopping 12 seconds, I believe, yeah, 11.8, it's going to take some time to get out, so I can start moving towards the directions that I need to if I do need to escape for any reason whatsoever, and clear up a little bit of the ships and still have a chance to actually get out. Basically, if you're going to be spending the amount of money that you are on this ship, why leave things to chance? Alright, now going into our other rigs, for our combat rigs, I have an anti-EM pump 3, and I have an anti-thermal pump 3. So what this is doing, it is increasing my EM thermal. Yeah, EM and thermal mixed together is thermal. So EM resistance and thermal resistance up to 70 and 61 before any of the hardeners are even activated. The reason why I decided to do this is because I am going to be doing a T10 Amar mission, so they are going to be using EM and thermal. These down here can be changed out for whatever you plan on fighting, and that's one of the things about building the tank for this ship. One that I would actually recommend is keeping a different variety of those. You might actually want to change them out, find out what you're planning on fighting, and build your tank based off of that. Fill those holes. Lastly, we have a Laser Burst Aerator 3 on here. Of the 2 offensive ones, the damage and the activation time on this ship is going to give it more DPS. So I would definitely recommend, if you are just going to be fitting one and you're trying to get your DPS up as high as possible, to just use the activation time one, whichever one you are. So it's comparable. So the level 3 burst aerator is going to be better than the level 3 laser collision accelerator. Level 4s would be in the same boat, and level 2s and so on. But if you're purchasing this ship, I don't understand why you would ever have a level 2 on there. Apparently you already have money. Overall defense right now is 146,630. Capacitor is running stable, so that is with both those Nosferatus running. And navigation, it moves at a whopping 159. This ship turns like a boat, warps like a boat, moves like a boat, even with the afterburner going. Alright. So that being said, let's go ahead and undock and jump into our mission and see what this ship can do. Okay, here we are. So I did go ahead and pick up Friends by Blood. I'm already out here. We are going to begin. We are just going to jump to 0 for our first wave. Now this is the first encounter of Friends by Blood, and we're going to see how this tank holds up. One of the things we want to look at is activating both of those. Our defense is now a total of 173 with 80 and 73, and those are going to get higher as we start getting hit. And we can just keep those on indefinitely now. Alright, so we're out here. I'm going to set an orbit to 29. And the first thing that I want to do is grab one of these smaller ships. And we're going to focus fire this guy down. And we're just going to continue to do this. We are going to start orbiting one of the ships. Here, let's actually orbit the battleship. Okay. We are going to try to turn everything onto one ship and keep it there. There we go. Next, we're going to go for the Mauler. So as you can see, this ship is hitting really hard. It's just stopping people and blapping them. But I'm really curious to see if it's going to be able to survive brawling. Okay. So taking out this prophecy next. Alright, we've just hit low shield, so we're going to start to be able to see what this tank can do here in a moment. I do want to get a little bit closer. Alright, and we're just going to turn on our armor wrappers and let this thing go. So we're a little bit out of range from this ship. Oh, let's go ahead and turn on the afterburner as well. We can move in a bit closer and take out this Abaddon. So our resistances should be climbing. I'm curious to see where they're going to end up at. We're actually going to change our orbit to about 22. This ship is so slow that making sure that we stay in orbiting range around these guys is good. One of the things I like about this ship so far is it seems like it can take out smaller ships no problem with reaching out and grabbing them with those webifiers and just murder, murder, murder. Okay. Wave 2. We're going to set orbit around this guy. Let's get us some locks. Oh, I'm sorry, you. Alright, so we're locking him down. We are locked back. Sometimes the lasers do this. So we're going to pick another target here. We're going to set an orbit around him. Okay. So we're going to focus fire this guy. And we're going to stop all of our wonderful things here. We don't need to have the afterburner going. Let's web up this guy. Let's focus fire. Blap, gone. Now let's see if we can take care of this guy that's 5 meters away. Not quite. And let's come to a complete stop. Alright, so we're stopping. This guy over here is just not moving anymore. Our next target. Yeah, we were finally able to actually catch this guy. There he goes. Now we can go back into an orbit around him, and we're looking just fine. So the smaller ships still do give us a little bit of an issue, but our tank is insane. Sitting at 83% and 77%, so we're taking far less damage. Let's turn that on. Okay. Is that where we were approaching? Good, good, good. So we are approaching our current getaway plan, in case we need to. He's getting out there to 31 km, but we're still just blapping him. Okay, next wave. Start locking up everybody. Okay. That guy's dead. Next, we're going to move over to this one. Oh, well, he's still a bit too far away, right? So let's actually focus up on this guy. Come on. We want to just straight on approach. All right. So this is going to be our next target. So one of the problems that I do see that the ship having here is we do want to try to keep everything a bit closer. Oh, let's hit those with all the webs. Oh, he has now stopped. Still getting some whiffs in. Our drones were able to actually strike him, though. And as he gets further away, everything will be fine. Yeah, we're starting to apply some damage now that he's at 10 km. 3,000. He'll be dead quick. Hey, let's take out this Mauler. Let's put him in orbit. Alright, I don't think we need to be running that anymore. Let's turn off both of our armor reppers for just a little while. Let's try to build up some of that cap. We did get pretty far away from them. Give me that precious, precious energy. Okay. We're going to activate all of the webs because this is a smaller ship. Bring him to a stop. And we don't need to have any of the webs activated on him. We can just build this cap back up a little bit. Let's do a revolution of our armor repairers. Get back to tippy top. And we'll keep one on, and we're just going to keep one on to keep us topped up for the time being. And we should be at our maximum here for our defense. Let's take a look. 83 and 77. Okay. We are not far off. Alright, let's turn around here and start approaching the station. So it seems so far the ship is doing pretty well. It is able to brawl so far. We'll see how it actually starts handling in some of the tougher waves. Oh. Well, this one is done. Excellent. Alright, so on this one here, we didn't really have any elites or anything like that, but they were still all tier 10 ships. And it was able to brawl just fine, taking care of the little ships. Did have a little bit of trouble tracking some of them, but that was okay. That was to be expected. Alright, for our next portion of this mission, let's see, Friends by Blood. It's 11 jumps away. Well, I'm going to go ahead and do those jumps, and I will get back to you as soon as we are there. Okay, I'm back, and we are here at the other encounter. So this is going to be the second wave. I'm going to go to the Cosmic Anomaly, and we're just going to warp in at around 20. Our getaway station is going to be Ministry of.
Warp drive active.
Activate our armor hardeners. Start locking up some of these smaller ships. Let's actually approach and get to work. Okay. So as you can see, just jumping in right now, we are pretty much warp disrupted immediately. All right. Starting to blast this guy out of existence. Nope. Next, we want to work on. Let's set orbit here. Focus fire. I don't know which one of you is on him, so let's disable all of you and put you back on the correct ship. Let's get this executioner taken care of. Alright, the lasers are doing that weird thing where they're not tracking even though we stopped. So we'll just move over to some of the tougher ships. Get them taken care of and then we'll head back. Let's actually take both of those off. And we'll set them on the ship that we're orbiting. Okay. Next, we're going to take out this Mauler. Just a bit of disgusting damage. And now we'll move back to this guy and see if this is going to be any better. There we go. I don't know why it does that. That could be a bit devastating if that's an elite ship that you need to take out and it's just not doing anything. But that's one of the reasons why we're doing this. We're kind of seeing if this brawler fit in a battleship is actually going to work and do anything great. Alright, Cosmic Anomaly, I'm at 28. Station, we want to go realign here. And again, one of the really cool things about this ship is it does run with a lot of warp stability. So if we do need to get away, we can, in most cases. We might have to take out some of the ships that are warp disrupting us, but it should be able to get out, no problems. We're actually going to slow down. I don't want to get too far out of range here. Just want to keep applying full DPS to this Abaddon. Okay, now let's start moving. So this pack of guys spawned over here. Let's lock them up. This guy is who we want to tackle first. Okay. Yep, next we're going to focus fire him, and we're going to come in for orbiting around this guy. He is outside of our web range. We're still fine. Now let's start locking up the rest of these guys. Pretty disgusting. Alright, so wave 2 is going a lot better. We were in a very good position. Ooh, a 10,000 hit on that. Disgusting. Everything is remaining quite stable so far. So good. Prophecy is about to go down. Alright, now that's all that's left is this Apocalypse Striker. Now if you saw my video on Apocalypse Striker, these things are scary. Does look like we are doing quite a good job on him. Shouldn't be too terribly long before he is destroyed. Now we still haven't really seen any elites. Things can go south once we start seeing the elites and whatnot. And everybody knows that that last wave is always the most brutal. So we're going to be in for a treat. You guys might actually get to see a Bhaalgorn get blown up if I do all of this wrong. But I do believe that with the warp stability, we should be able to get out of even the most sticky of situations. Alright, let's turn and start approaching. These guys are spawning behind us. Let's start locking up the little guys first. Give this a little time to stop them, and then blap. Let's stop the guns. We want to give them a little bit of time to actually come to their complete and total stop. And then blap. See, I am learning. Okay, so now we're getting out of range. I want to actually turn back in and we can go into our orbit. When we start getting out of range like this is where our energy does start dropping off. Who do we want to try to kill first? This ship is disgusting. If you do like brawling, it does seem like so far this ship can do it quite well. Again, I don't think we're running into any elites yet, so... well, we can start using our webs. Let's just make this even better. Okay. Let's just see if we can blap this guy. There we go. Let's web this guy up too. We don't really want them moving. That would be, you know, fair if they could move. So one of the things that we might consider actually here, instead of the 3 webs, is actually running a scram for the ships that do have the micro warp drives, but I don't know yet. The 3 webs might actually be enough just to be able to get them under control. Alright, our next target is going to be the Abaddon. We already got it in orbit. Now we just sit back and play the waiting game. So right now we're just been running with the 1 armor wrapper going. It's doing a pretty good job of keeping us okay. We do have that second one if we do need it. But it's holding strong. Holding real strong. And again, all of this equipment that's on this ship is something that can be found today. This can be done. You might not have 555 and everything, but if you retrained all of your skill points, you could be close. Now, do I think this is going to be better than something like the Apocalypse Striker sitting way out just blapping everything? I mean, I guess that really just depends on your playstyle. Apocalypse Striker's not going to be in the game for dang near half a year, if not more. And this is in the game now. Everything here can pretty much be done now, except for maybe the skills. It's like as seen on TV. Yeah, I do like this ship. I do have to say, I mean, I haven't played around with the other battleships as of yet. I do plan to. But just so far, seeing what this ship can do, it might be where I go for my faction battleship. Having a faction battleship PvE brawler would be amazing. And it'll be very different than for my apocalypses that I want. So I'll have a variety of ships that I could do stuff in. Okay, let's start the approach again. They are spawning below us, very close. We do have some elites. Let's start off with him. So this is just about as disgusting as it can get. It's not going to get much worse than this for a situation. We're basically on zero. We have everything grabbing us. Okay. So we're not hitting this ship here. So let's see who is draining us. Battleship? Okay, well. That's fine. Let's actually change over to this guy. See if we can take out this elite. Interesting. So we're still having trouble hitting this elite. Okay, let's let him do his thing then. And let's focus fire this guy, see if we can blow him up. Not much going on here. Okay. Well, let's get off the table what we can, if that's the case. So let's focus fire this guy. And let's go into orbit around him. Okay. Can we do anything about you? It doesn't seem that way. All right. Fine, let's take out the battleship. If that's how it's gonna be, we need to get rid of the threats that we can. So far, so good. In a horrible scenario, it's able to tank. We are losing cap slowly though, but as soon as we get this guy off the table, who is nuding us? Same, the Apocalypse Striker. Okay. So once we get the Apocalypse off the table, it's going to be much, much better. We're being drained. Oh, the other Apocalypse Striker. Okay. Let's actually turn these guys off. Let's put them back on the other Apocalypse. I don't know if it's going to make a difference if it's on a bigger ship. I don't think so. But we're just going to tank right through this. Why? Because we can. And this, again, this can be done now. This ship is just face tanking this pack. While being nuded, while being vampired. Yeah, we're losing cap slowly. But as soon as we get this elite battleship out of here that's doing some horrible things to us, we'll be alright. There's literally nothing they can do to us. I think we're actually stabilizing at this 60%. Okay. Now we're going to orbit this guy and basically do the same thing. And the whole thing is if we needed to warp out, we can. So if we ever did feel like we were in any type of danger, they've got 1 point on us. I mean, if this is a scrambler or even a point, we've got way more stability than that, so we're fine. Nothing they can do to us. We've just got free reign to blow these guys up. Now, these smaller ships are a bit of an annoyance. What we can actually try to do here is web. Let's put our large drones on that guy and see if they can do anything. Large drones are a bit of a joke. That guy has 3 webs on him and they still can't hit him. One of the things I might actually suggest is putting medium drones on for this. They might actually help a lot better. Okay, Apocalypse down. We're not being drained from our cap anymore. So what do we really have to worry about? Let's slow down a little bit. Yeah, I mean, I guess they're eventually going to get the job done. Let's see if we can actually hit this guy. Okay. Cool, cool. So all of the big threats are gone. There's nothing they can do to us. Alright, we even got the elite down. We can probably turn off one of the shield wrappers now. And everything's completely stabilized. $83.77. This ship had no problems whatsoever tanking this wave. Now this isn't the toughest wave by any means, but that would still been a dead ship for just about anything else. That was about the worst situation you could possibly be in. So that should speak very highly of the tank on this ship. Let's start orbiting that guy. And let's turn our afterburner back on because he's quite a bit away. Alright, we've got everything on him. Let's actually just do an approach on that guy. And let's highlight him so whenever it auto-targets, it moves over to them. The worst case scenarios, this ship does amazing. Is it the right ship for you? Well, that's all to be said. You like cap stable tanky ships. This ship does have the potential to put out some crazy DPS too if you take the tank away. But honestly, I'd rather stay safe. Alright, we're getting into range of our lasers, so let's go ahead and start the orbit. Yeah, that was a pretty scary wave. We were lit up like a Christmas tree. We weren't able to hit the smaller ships at first. We had to get them into an area where we could, but it was able to do so. It was able to recover tank all of the damage and be absolutely fine. That is impressive. I really don't think many ships would have been able to survive that. All right. And the Abaddon is about to go away. Let's start the approach again. I think this is the last wave of this one, but I could be wrong. There we go. Let's stop. Okay. So I'm actually going to go ahead and cut it here too, and go over to the next wave, and we'll see what happens there. Okay, I'm back. We finally made it out here. I'm going to go ahead and start the third encounter for Friends by Blood and our super tanky ship. And we'll see how this pans out. So I'm pretty confident the last wave of this mission will be able to break this tank. We are going to start this off by turning on our hardeners. I know they do not work on the shield, but I don't care. Already have them active and ready to go. Alright, so we are off of the line a little further than I would actually like to be. Stop him. Alright, so we got some webs, we got some newts, we got the whole lively gang on us now. This is the guy we want to orbit. Shields are gone. Let's activate one repper. Alrighty. Nope. We actually want to go over here. Let's turn this off. So we got quite a few battleships in this one. Yeah, quite a few battleships. Turn these off. Oh yeah, they're just outside of range, so we can't use the webs there. Let's activate our full tank. We're gonna need it, apparently. We do have to start getting some of this damage off the table. And how are we going to get this damage off the table? Let's start off with this Abaddon. Let's go ahead and make sure that he gets murdered. Yeah, it seems like we're fine. Our tank is still stable, even against these 4 battleships. None of them are elite, though. But still, 4 battleships can put out a good chunk of damage. Okay, Abaddon. Let's take a look at the ships here. So that Mauler Interdictor, and is this Abaddon here, the one that we're on? Nope. So this Abaddon is the one that's 40-something km away. He is one that's not doing damage. He's healing up his brethren. This guy. He will be our next target. He's going to give us issues with these tracking disruptors and whatnot. Let's move in. Oh, that was the guy that we were fighting. Let's just turn around and approach. Let's actually approach this apocalypse, and let's use our afterburner. We want to get back into range. It does look like we were a little bit farther off than I would like to be. Okay. Let's not waste energy. Let's move in to you. You are the closest. Well, now your other buddy's the closest, but he's not firing on us, so... Let's focus fire you. And let's get our energy drain back up and running. Alright, go into orbit and we should be just fine. We're at a good spot. We can save some energy by turning off our afterburner. And Wave 1 had quite a few battleships in it, and it's going to take a little bit of time for us to actually get these guys murdered down. But we were able to tank 4 battleships and the rest of the crew, no problem. No elites, though. So in a skilled pilot's hands, not mine, this ship is probably going to do so much better. Okay. Nope. Going to orbit around this apocalypse. It is the next ship that is doing damage to us. So I'm very impressed so far. I'm excited to see how the last wave pans out on this, though. Heck, we may not even make it to that wave. We have to get through a couple other waves before that happens. Yeah, the last waves and these are like 30-something ships. There's no way the tank is gonna hold, so I still definitely don't want to be at 0, or even close to 0, versus that spawn. There's brave, and then there's just stupid. The beautiful explosions. Oh yeah, we're right on top of this spawn too. Ah yes, the waiting game. Poor Logi Abaddon. It's like, I didn't bring any guns. Alright, let's turn away. Let's stop firing for a moment. We can let the drones do their thing. This is actually putting us closer and closer to the mission. Okay. Let's just move flat away. Let's get away from the spawn. Maybe we're too far away from the ship now. Okay. Man, it's got to be close to getting blowed up. There we go. Alright, let's lock up these guys here. Activate our full tank. Alright, dead. Slow this guy down. As he passes. There we go. Oh, we still missed. Let's do this game here. Approach. Rip. And fire. Oh. Now let's turn that off. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on there, kiddos. Get this guy all set up. And let's approach. Where are you? Let's approach, approach, approach. Come on. Let's get all lined up with them. And flat. Let's go down to like nothing. He's 0. Oh, that's funny. Stop. Okay. Oh, that's too funny. The battleship just stops on your face and starts blowing you up. Oh, this is fun. Oh, you! I want you dead. I don't like you. You're disrupting me. Who else is disrupting me? An Abaddon. Well... let's get into orbit around him first. Let's turn both of those off. Let's take out this other smaller ship. How many ships do we got? We still got quite a few. Okay. Now let's work on the Abaddon. This is the Abaddon who is doing all the stuff to us, right? Yeah. Let's actually get into orbit around this Mauler. We gotta start planning our approach and attack, because some of those guys are really far out there. Well, for us anyway, 60 km. This is crazy to watch. Look at all the little beams. They're like, don't let the Abaddon die! Okay. Let's grab this Mauler while we're here and approach that guy. Oh, I hate when it does that. Well, I guess it really wouldn't have mattered. Let's actually start approaching next in line. And let's bump up our speed, so we're not just chilling and we're actually going at a decent rate. Alright, prophecy is out. Next in line is this Mauler. Let's go ahead and approach the apocalypse. Actually, next in line, I do believe is going to be this executioner. Okay. Now we're just down to the big boys. The big boys, the Abaddon looks like he is the repairer of the group. So let's actually approach him. Let's get a little bit closer. And we're pretty close. Let's just go ahead and get into orbit. Okay, so wave 2, not too bad either. No elites. Quite a few battleships. But once you got everything pretty much cleared up, it's no problem. I don't even think it's any problem from the very get-go. This ship just has a tank that, if there really isn't any elites, there's not really much they can do to you. You just sit back and enjoy. It's got cap for days. What cap it doesn't have, it makes up for by stealing theirs. And it's able to run its sickening tank. Alright, let's focus fire up on this Abaddon here. And again, I can't stress this enough. This ship is using everything that's in the game currently. I mean, if you can manage to get maxed out skills, you could do this right now. So I think even without maxed out skills, if you had, one off here or there, you're going to do a little less damage, have a little less energy efficiency, have a bit less shields and armor. So it's not going to be quite as good at it as this, but I guess with careful precautions and stuff, you still might be able to do the same thing. I would say as long as you have the bottom rigs, which we really haven't had to put to use, but we might. But if you got these warp core optimizers in here, you should be able to get away from these encounters no problem if you do run into a bad situation. Alright. Let's go into orbit around him. And let's see how far off. We're 53 km off. Start moving away. But let's move away slowly. And the only reason I'm moving away at all is because, again, I still don't think versus like 30 ships it'll have a tank that can tank all 30 of those ships. So I'd rather not, if I can avoid it, play stupidly. Which is why I didn't kill the healer last. I waited a little bit to kill the healer because I wanted to make sure that it wasn't going to take me back to 0. Okay. So yeah, these guys even spawned relatively close to me. Start locking up some things. Lots of small ships. Okay. Let's give them some time. We are unable to hit. That's fine. Let's turn those off then. And let's try to hit this elite. Okay. Oh. Oh. Let's web him up if we are able to actually strike him. Oh, and let's turn on our ability to survive. Lots of small ships. We can probably turn off one of those for the time being. Oh. No, 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 no. Let's approach. At a very low speed. See if we can't hit this guy. Okay, let's move out then. We can't seem to hit the elite, so let's not focus on him. This should be our focus. Let's actually unlock some of these guys. Okay. Let's approach. Oh yeah, this is disgusting. Actually, I don't want to approach just yet. I don't want to be right... I don't want to die right in the middle of the pack. Let's move on away. We got disruptors on us. Who is tracking disrupting us? Apocalypse Striker, 2 Apocalypse Strikers. Okay. Five newts. Oof, that's a lot of newts. Okay, let's unlock you. You, I want to lock. Okay. Let's focus fire you next. Get some of these drains off of us. Let's not worry about the smaller ships. We'll take them out in our leisure. Need to worry about these drains. That's what's getting us. We actually might be able to turn off the armor wrapper and just do one for a little bit. Save up on our cap. Is there anything else that's far away? Okay. The Mauler. Okay, let's get this Mauler locked up. Let's turn on our other armor wrapper. Perfect. Alright, let's grab this Mauler. Get him off of us. We are tanking fools. Alright, so once this Mauler is off of us, we're going to have another neutralizer gone. Perfect. Let's go ahead and get this apocalypse done. Put that guy into orbit. And we got this elite that's hanging around us that's going to be a little bit of an issue. I don't know how we're going to take care of him. Okay, so after he is done, what do we have left? We have this executioner. Okay. So I think we got a majority of the damage and the threats off the table. So this executioner is the one that we want. Let's again try to hit that elite. See if we can grab him. Nope. Okay. So let's hit this guy if we can. And lock up some of the further targets. We did get him. Let's take this guy out. Yeah, this one elite is going to be really hard for us to kill. Even stopping him. Oh, there we go. We got some shots in him. Let's do this. Let's stop the lasers. Let's have the lasers work on some of the other targets. Oh, we got 3 warp scrams on us again. We're just gonna have our drones worry about Mr. Tutti Frutti over here. Let's blast you. Let's actually start approaching some of these guys. While we're turning, let's try to get a shot off. Alright, so we're turning in mid-turn and... Nope. Okay. That's fine. We will let the drones do their job. And just try to pick off that little elite bastard. Not like he can hurt us anyway. Okay. Get rid of this other executioner if we can. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh my Glanza, we actually shot it. Oh, okay. Oh, I want to stop this. Let's fire on you. And we still have an Abaddon left just chilling out there. Yeah, large drones have a hard time hitting frigates, that's for sure. We'll give it a chance. Oh, there's still quite a few Abaddons out there. Let's approach one. Didn't mean to focus fire. Let's get you guys back on that if we can. Okay, they're starting to hit now. That's just weird. I don't understand it. But all in all, not bad. The laser light show of doom is nearly over. We still have one more wave of this. Oh, this is a lot of Abaddons, actually. Oh, let's drop into orbit. We're getting a bit too close there. Let's see if we can hit this guy. Nope. Oh, yeah. Alright, so ships. Only 2 of them are actually targeting us. You are our next lucky victim. I'm gonna get rid of the logistics Abaddons first. We're actually very far off right now. So we got pretty far out here, which is actually gonna be okay for us, I think. This is acceptable for spawning in on the last wave. That was really fun. I enjoyed that wave quite a bit. Now we're just to the end here, taking care of all of the get into orbit around this guy next. Just taking care of the cleanup portion of it. And then I think we're going to have the last wave. And the last wave is what everybody is, I guess, looking forward to. Is it going to be able to take that? Or is this the last wave? Nah, there's got to be another wave. Overall, I would say the Abaddon is Abaddon. Psh. Yeah, those Abaddons over there are extremely deadly with their repping abilities. No, the Bhaalgorn here is an extremely good ship for solo play, I would say. I mean, if you are a solo player and you do like to use lasers, and you don't necessarily want to do the sniper thing, and you also like putting in tanking and brawling in, this is probably the ship for you. You're able to do the PvE content quite safely, in my opinion. So if you've got the money to actually pick up one of these bad boys and outfit it to where you can warp out, I would definitely recommend those rigs in there, especially without having the max skills. If you do get into a tight area, you can always make sure you get out. But it seems like it can just pretty much mow through stuff. And in situations that would be very scary in other ships, it's just like, heh, whatever. Come at me, bruh. Even though we couldn't take out those smaller ships, we were having trouble tracking them and getting the hits in sometimes. We didn't care. As long as we were taking out the bigger threats, we would be able to get rid of the neutralizers. We were outgaining for the most part. There was a couple of places where we were getting some energy loss. But these guys, they drain. Focus fire. Actually, let's switch this up. They apply a lot of neutralization and vampires and stuff to you, and this ship was able to stay stable during all of that while brawling with them. Picking the bigger targets to take care of first was probably one of the better moves. And so as long as we can get those taken off of the table, the little ships can't break the tank at all in any way, shape, or form. And it has enough stabilization that even if you do get stuck and are in a horrible situation, you can get out. I would have to say for PvE so far, this is getting a 10 out of 10. I honestly don't think there's going to be much better of a ship for making sure that you can survive a T10. Now, remember, I did put in the armor mods for fighting these guys, EM and Thermal, which is this ship's best defenses for the armor. So this is probably the best case scenario, but even being the best case scenario, if you want to run Friends by Blood over and over again, this ship can do it. Well, at least it appears. We haven't quite got there yet. Go ahead and rapidly approach this guy to try to speed up our time a little bit. Okay, so we are approaching the Friends by Blood spawn point. So this guy is basically sitting on the spawn point. No, maybe he's a bit off of it. I just saw that one tick over when we were approaching, and it made me think he was sitting on the spawn point. Okay, so he's closer to the spawn point, but he's not sitting right on it. That's actually good. We can stop here. We're in range. Yeah, this has been amazing. I can't speak its praises enough. No wonder so many people wanted to actually see it in the comments. They're like, show me this ship. We want to see it with max skills. Now, this may not be what they were expecting. They probably were not expecting a tanky version of this ship, but again, I think putting this energy to use is where it's at. I like to be able to do things safely. And the fact that this can do things super safely is just amazing. For an endgame PvE ship, I mean, think about this. If you have, if you're watching the people in system once they bring scanners in, with this much stabilization, if you have a party of, you know, 2 people trying to scan down and stuff, you might be able to even just warp out. All right. We are at the last wave now. This is going to be the scary wave. We are getting out of here. Lock up what we can. Okay. 1 down. And this is what I really want to hit here. I want to get rid of this elite before I can. Okay. So many little ships. Let's leave that be for now for those guys. Turn that off. Start blapping this guy over here. Okay. Got him. Let's start shooting the Mauler. Next Mauler. Let our drones take care of the little ships around us. Actually, focus fire. Let's get rid of what we can. I don't know who I want to hit next. Probably the elite's going far away, so let's hit this guy. Let's lock up these other closer ships. Let's turn off that. Unlock you for now. Lock you up. We're gonna throw our energy onto you. Let's see if we can hit you. Not having too much luck. Here we go. We're in a decent spot here. We do have an Abaddon coming in on us. That's fine. We'll get to him when we get to him. Okay. I want to focus fire this Abaddon. But we're going to use this little Corsair here for a energy battery. He can spin around us all he wants. Look at these ships. Okay. The last wave seems to be going quite well. We have our energy battery secured. We're taking out this Abaddon, who is one of the Abaddons who is putting on... Oh, we're disrupted. Doesn't matter. Yeah, we have 2 Abaddons and an elite Abaddon that's actually doing the tracking disruptions. So we got through the wave of little ships, so we got them cleaned up enough, so we don't have any webs on us or anything like that. We're in a very solid spot. I don't think anything is going to give us any type of trouble whatsoever now. We still are running both shield armor repairers. So that is one thing to be said. We are keeping up with 100% here. Our cap seems to be stabilized. We're losing a little bit, gaining some, but everything's fine. I didn't see this elite sneaking up on me. Oh, I'm sorry. We weren't on the right target there. Let's lock up that elite. We're going to let these run. Just for a time or two. And then we're going to blap them. Okay. That's good. Another elite off the table. We're going to take out this little Corsair here. Perfect. All right. Let's focus fire this guy. There's the elite Abaddon. He's coming up on us. Not bad. Not bad at all. I like having this Corsair buddy here that's 9 kilometers away, just providing us with free energy. Oh, we can probably turn off one of the armor wrappers now. I think we're in a good enough spot where we shouldn't be just being utterly destroyed. One should do just fine. Let us build up our cap a little bit. So, this is great. I mean, just totally great. This ship is definitely going to be able to make back its money that you put into it. This is an awesome achievement if this is your end goal for your ships. I think this test run here has just pretty much proven to me that this ship here is probably going to be one of the safest ships to run these encounters in. Nope. I'm gonna focus fire you next. Let's lock some of these guys up. Here. Web him. Nope. Focus fire. Let's get into an orbit around this guy now. We've thinned out the pack quite enough. As you can see, they're still pretty much everywhere. But I'm not really that concerned, to be honest. Even if I end up in the middle of these guys, I don't care. I want to slow boat my way around this field and murder off every one of them. But I am going to keep my little Corsair buddy over here. He's been a good ally in this, giving me cap. Okay. Actually, I want to focus the Executioner with my fire and orbit the Elite. So we're not hitting this Executioner, it's doing that stupid thing again. But let's just go ahead and blap this Prophecy. Okay, so it does look like we're in range of that Elite. He's probably using pulses like myself. So he's actually applying a decent chunk of damage to us. Okay, let's get rid of the Elite now. And there's some strikers, there's some stuff out there. We do have another Elite. Oh, that's the Elite that we're on. He's the last Elite? Okay. Oh. If he's the last Elite, then this is completely easy peasy. It's probably also the one that's tracking disrupting me. We could look. Oh, I'm being scrambled. Yeah. So I like it. I like it a lot. Probably one of the safer ships, I would imagine. I mean, this tank is just ridiculous. It does have a little bit of trouble hitting the smaller frigates and whatnot, but with some proper play, if you're a much better pilot than I am, you could probably take him out a lot easier than I can. But for the most part, you don't even have to worry about them. And it's like, okay, take out the threats that matter, get rid of the high damage, and then I can get rid of those little guys at my leisure, and I can still get energy from them. Now again, when I still want to spawn on 0, absolutely not. We can turn off one repper. Okay. There goes the elite. Let's see if we can blow up this executioner. Alright. Next on our list is this prophecy. And everything's done except for the cleanup. Let's move into this Mauler. Okay, so we are within all of these battleships' range. They are applying a pretty decent amount of damage to us currently. That's okay. That's why we have 2 armor reppers. Okay. Let's get rid of the Mauler. Please just fire on the Mauler. And let's have a look. What is actually killing us? An Apocalypse Striker, an Abaddon, and a Corsair. Oh, that's our buddy Corsair. Okay. That's a lot of battleships. It's going to take a little bit of time. Whee! And that's it. Nothing to do now but the waiting. Let's start approaching our buddy, the Apocalypse. We're approaching directly too. We're just like, we don't care. Shoot us. Alright, let's go into orbit. We can turn that off for the time being. Oh, you know what? We can get rid of our buddy now, I think. We were able to pull far away from him, so... Excellent. He was a good friend. He served his purpose well. Alright, so we have an Abaddon that's targeting us, and the Apocalypse Striker is targeting us. Huh? Personally, I don't think it matters at this point. We're literally in the cleanup stages. So, I mean, if you wanted to eliminate more of the damage, you could. I'm just going to go with whoever's closer. Whipping a battleship just seems redundant. They're already slow. Actually, I don't know about that. Whenever I was doing the tests with the other ones, they could get up to 900, 1,000, so... And that was, you know, just by putting a micro warp drive on there. So where I can say they're pretty zippy, absolutely not. But they can get some speed behind them. Alright, let's approach you. You're going to be our next target. Okay. So we got through the soft underbelly. Now we're on the armored part. Alright, let's start our orbit. Looks like that 50 km Abaddon is going to be our biggest issue. And that's just because it's going to take us a minute to get there. Let's start approaching him. Let's get on it. We'll get over there and finish up this job. And on our way over there, we'll do our best to murder this Abaddon. Clean up, clean up. All right. Now we're just going to sit here and float in space. This was a very impressive run. I do like ships that can brawl. I do think that I would just title this the King of the Brawlers. I think that's probably what's going to be in there. Let's see. Yeah, this should be it. So unless there is another wave, which I don't think there is, I think we're good. I think this was the last wave. All in all, very amazing ship. And that's it. Completed. So guys, with that being done, that is your ship, the Bhaalgorn. So what we're sitting at here is it has an impressive defense. It's able to brawl T10s in complete safety and able to warp out if it needs to. It provides damage, DPS, everything that you could want in a PvE ship. I hope I did this ship justice for the PvE fittings. If you do like it, please let me know in the comments below. Alright, so I will see you guys next time. Stay mighty.